Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Happy 2021. It has been a few days since I last recorded. It's been kind of strange since I haven't been recording with you on a daily basis. But I'm here for a regular update, and it feels kind of good. So it's nice to get back and get into a regular routine. And I'm hoping that we can keep this as a regular routine and film on a regular basis. So a little bit of admin for you all. I hope this films well for you all. I am trying a few different recording techniques for you. So we'll see how things go. And we'll go with the flow here and try some new things. So that being one of the admin things, I hope I remember everything. I didn't take any notes, but I have a huge pile of stuff here, so I'm really hoping I remember everything. The second thing, and some of you have already noticed this, and I'm going to have this in the info section in every single video going forward, but I have opened up a Buy Me a Coffee page, and if you are not familiar with a Buy Me a Coffee, it is basically a way to tip a person who provides a service. So much like a YouTube channel or a podcast or anything like that. So if you really like the content that I provide, consider providing a tip or buying a coffee, and it's just a way to give back to the podcast or the channel and support those creators that you want to see more from. I will provide some more information as far as what I plan on using that money for. And basically, I'm planning on using that money to give back to all of you. So I'm going to keep that money in a separate fund, the money that I do get from the Buy Me a Coffee, and use to give back to you all in ways like using for postage for the giveaways that I have, like the giveaway that I'm doing for the string of pearls there and future giveaways. So I'm going to keep all that money set aside and potentially to buy things for giveaways or to use for postage to send things out for giveaways, or just to do special things like that for the channel. So if you are interested, check out that link. It sends you to a website where you can submit your information to Buy Me a Coffee. So just check that out if you're interested. That being said, that's probably all I'm going to talk about on this channel about that, and hopefully maybe once or twice more in the future just to remind new viewers. But other than that, it's there if you're interested, and if you're interested and you're able to, great. If not, thank you anyways for just coming back and liking, subscribing, commenting, and being a part of this channel and continuing to help me provide the content that you all seem to enjoy and love. All right, so this is now 2021. I still have COVID. COVID is still out there. I am doing all right, I guess you could say. It's really like a roller coaster, and sometimes you feel good and sometimes you don't. Right now I'm feeling all right, but earlier today I did not feel good, and it ebbs and flows. I've been describing it to my friends and coworkers like a roller coaster. So you have your high points and your low points and everywhere in between. And I have energy and I don't have energy, and I've had symptoms that I never thought I could have. So it's really kind of strange, and I'm on day 9 of symptoms. So who knows when it will end, who knows when I'll be feeling better, but I'm doing the best that I can, and I really have appreciated all the support and love that I've had. I've had so many people come out of the woodwork to offer me to get groceries or medicine or any kind of things that I've needed. So my mom has offered to come take care of me, and she really doesn't need to do that because all I need to do is sleep, and she does not need to be exposed to COVID, but I appreciate it, and thank you, Mom. But, all I need to do is just rest and take care of myself, but I also need to work. So luckily I am working from home, and all is going well with work, and I'm just doing the best that I can, and I'm getting also a lot of crafting done as well. So because my commute is not very far. It goes from here over to that Kleenex box. And that's what I do. So let's go ahead and get right on into the things that I've been doing since Christmas Eve. No, since New Year's Eve, the last time we talked. So I have been able to have, I have 2 finishes, people. 2 finishes. And I'm feeling like getting more finishes done. So it's going to be the year of getting stuff done, I think. Let's hope that continues on and we see a lot of stuff like that happen. So the very first finish I have of 2021, this is my Barbara Anna Designs. Not mine. This is Barbara Anna Designs. Oh, Christmas Tree. And again, I stitched from the key up. And I stitched this on a 32 count blue, navy blue linen from XJU Designs. And here is my finish. And I love it. I think it looks fantastic. I absolutely love everything about this. I'm so glad I used the gold. I love the fact that I used the petite ribbon, the petite treasure ribbon for the ornament hanger. And there is the finish. And it looks, I think it looks great. You guys might not think it looks great, but I think it looks wonderful. So again, this is stitched 2 over 2 on 32 count. Again, it's a 32 count linen by XJU Designs, a navy blue. I used all the called for colors except for I switched out the gold here, and on the key are, instead of a silver DMC metallic, I used a gold petite treasure braid that I had in my stash. And that is number 1 finish for 2021. I finished this at like 7:05 a.m. on New Year's Day. So finish number 1. Then, if you follow me on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram at ginger.gerald.stitcher. You have seen that I finished finish number 2. Finish number 2 was my Elizabeth I by Plum Street Samplers, the Queen's Sampler. I stitched this on a 40 count old linen by XJU Designs. And this is stitched 1 strand over 2 on the old linen, and here is the finish. So again, I had my new start, which I will show you, but at the same time, I was just kind of feeling like there's so little to do on this. I just really wanted to knock it out and be done with it. So I went ahead and finished. All I had left to do was now this is just one that's kind of awkward to hold, especially when it's not in the Q-snap. There we go. So all I had left to do was this yellow in this banner right here, the word Elizabeth. So I went ahead and knocked that out fairly quickly. While there's still a lot of stitching there and it got kind of monotonous because it's all just yellow stitches, I did go ahead and knock that out. And I absolutely love this. I think it looks great. And this is not up my alley as my cup of tea. How many metaphors can I use? Is that a metaphor? I don't know. English was not my cup of tea. It was not my subject in school that I thrived in. So I just knocked it out. And while, again, this is not necessarily my favorite style of stitching, it's a little primitive for me, I do really like this. And I will have to say that stitching this, I think evoked a little bit of interest in this style of stitching that I kind of want to stitch a little bit more of it. Not a lot. Like, I'm not going to completely change my style to stitch all this kind of stitching. But I think if there's a pattern that calls to me that is more like this, and I think it has to be a specific type of pattern. Like, this is historical. It has to do with the British royal crown. It has to do with, the Tudors, which we all know I stitched Henry VIII. So, like, it has to have some kind of meaning behind it. Then I would definitely be willing to stitch it. So, if there's a piece out there that calls to me, then yeah, I would probably stitch something. But definitely like this. Again, this is with all the called for DMC. I did not use the NPI silks. But the only things that I did differently was that I changed the crowns at the tops of the Tudor Rose border from red to gold. Because I thought there was already too much red to begin with. And to me, a crown is gold, not red. So there we go. Number 2 finish for 2021. And I did put my signature on it, but I wasn't really super happy with how my signature turned out. So, I don't know. I might pull it out. I'll probably just leave it there and just say whatever. All right, so some progress on some other things that I've been working on. So with my knitting, I have been working on my sock. Here is the sock that I'm almost done with the foot on this sock. I've been working on it here and there, just in between meetings whenever I just need to take a breather and just rest my head for a little bit or whatever. So I'm working with I want to say it's Worthington, but I don't think it's Worthington. It's the Valley Yarns sock yarn from the Webb's store, which is yarn.com. And this is I think it's a 75-25, and I don't think I have the tag here anymore, or I would show it to you. But I think I put it away by accident. So anyways, I've talked about it in my Flossmas videos before. I'm using a contrast heel and toe. This is a toe up sock that I'm doing, and I'm going to use the German short row heel. And I'm doing a 3x1 rib the whole way up the foot, just the stockinette on the sole of the foot, and then I'll do the 3x1 rib the whole way around the leg. So I believe I'm almost done with the length of the foot, and then I'll be able to put in the heel. Now I am slightly concerned with the size of the sock, because I wasn't thinking, and I only wanted to cast on 68 stitches, and I actually cast on 72. So I'm hoping that the sizing won't be a problem. I stitched 72 stitches for myself. Pretty much everyone else is a 68 in my life. So, and these were supposed to be for a gift, but I think with the ribbing, it gives it a little bit more like suction in. So I think, and then once it's washed and dried, I think it'll be fine. So I'm not going to stress too much about it, especially when it's washed over and over again. It will, shrink up a little bit. So at least that's what's been my experience with socks. So there we go. That is project number 1 I've been working on. Project 2 knitting wise that I've been working on, which I am so close to a finish, is my Wolf and Fawn Knits Pay It Forward shawl. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It's the Wolf and Fawn Knits Pay It Forward shawl. I have 2 more rows and the bind off. That's all I have left on this shawl to do. I am completely done with the main color of this shawl, this is all I have left of the ball. So that is the main color. It is a Nina's Hand Dyed from Etsy. Nina's Hand Dyed. Both the yarns are a Nina's Hand Dyed. This is her sock yarn, and this is a 80/20, I think. Superwash. They're both superwashes, and this is 100% merino superwash, and this is it. This is called the color Lost Key, and this is something blue. I don't remember. I've talked about it many times on my channel. And here is my progress so far. Now, I was thinking that it was going to be a little small. Then I realized that I was reading the pattern wrong, and I still had like 25, 30 more rows to go. So I think it's going to be fine now. So there is the pattern, the shawl so far. And I'm very pleased with it. I think it's going to look great on me. I absolutely love the colors. And like I said, I have 2 more rows to stitch, one back and forward, one each way, and then I get to do the picot bind off, and I will be done. I'm probably gonna knock this out tonight and be done with it. So that is my goal, because I would really like to be done, at least if not tonight. I will finish it off tomorrow, just so I have it off my needles, because that's the mood I'm in. I want to finish all the things right now. Last but not least of my current projects that I'm working on is my new start. I have my new start on New Year's Day that I was looking forward to for so long. This is my new Heaven and Earth design, which is Harbor Lights, which is no longer available anymore. I've looked many, many times. This is artwork by John Bradley, and the pattern was charted by Michelle Sayeda. So there is what it will look like when it is finished. And we all know why I love this. And if you don't know why I love this because of the architecture. Very English, like colonial American, with a splattering of all different types of architecture mixed in there. Now this is a picture of, I believe the harbor scene is of Australian. I'm not sure if it's a specific Australian harbor or if it's inspired by an Australian harbor, but I do feel like this is something that you could see in America or Europe, or colonial America or England or anywhere like that. So I think while it's inspired by Australia, I do think that this definitely has a Commonwealth vibe, Commonwealth and American colonial vibes. So I think it could be anywhere around the world. So here is my progress so far. I am stitching this on 28 count white Lugana, 1 strand over 1x. So 1 over 1 on 28 count. I do notice that with this new filming that my camera is zooming in and out a lot, which is kind of annoying me. If it's annoying all of you, please let me know, and I will try to play around with my settings to see if there's any way that I can turn that off or play around with it a little bit more. So here is my progress so far. Not as much as I thought I would, but then again, I've been working on all these other things that I thought that I just wanted to get done. So this is 4 days of progress, because I haven't worked on it today, and today is January 5th. So 4 days of progress. I do have a lot done. It's just not as much as I thought I would have had done. But again, I kind of had to get back into the full coverage, heaven and earth, 1/1 on 28 count kind of stitching mojo. So here we go. So here is what the size is. So that's the size of the piece when it is done. I do have a 6-inch border. Let's pull it back a little bit. I do have a 6-inch border on both sides. So it's obviously not going to be the size of this entire piece of fabric. So there's 6 inches there. So, you know, it's going to be like 6 inches. So it's going to be like from here to here-ish. Maybe, I don't know. Somewhere in there, around there. So it's going to be a lot of stitching. But it's going to be really exciting whenever it's all said and done. So there is my heaven and earth design so far. I think that's 3 colors so far. All right. Let me make sure that that doesn't move. So what are my plans for the next week or so, at least until I film again? And I may film sooner. I don't know when I'll film again. I don't know. I haven't figured out what my filming what my filming schedule is going to be. However, I do kind of feel like I want to knock out some stuff that's close to being done. So obviously my goal is to finish this. So my shawl is going to be done. My shawl is going to be done in the next day or two. The next thing, I think I'm going to not stitch on heaven and earth for a little bit, even though I would like to get that page done. I kind of want to, and I said I didn't want to like knock these out and finish them, but I'm in this like finishing funk and I don't know what's going on with me. So I don't want to like lose my my mojo of stitching. So I think I want to work on my fragments in time. I kind of want to knock at least maybe if I get one of these done, then I will get that urge out of my system, and then I'll be like, okay, I got another thing finished, and we'll move on from there. So I think I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to work on this tonight and see how much I get done. So again, just to give you an idea of where I'm at, I have the first 4 done. There's the first 4 fragments in time. This is on a 40 count mushroom. I believe it's called mushroom linen from XU Designs, and I'm stitching this 1/2 using my own color conversion that's closely related to the called for threads, but I'm using color and cotton threads, but that I have that are very similar in shade to the called for. So I'm going to work on number 5 tonight and see how far I get. I'll probably work on that until it's finished, and then we'll see how I'm feeling. After my shawl is done, I think I'm going to pull out, and while I said I'm not in any hurry to get my blanket done, I think I'm going to work on that until it's done. I also have another shawl, my green and white shawl, that's very close to being finished. I'm probably going to knock that out because I have a sweater that I wanted to get started, but all of my needles are in use right now, so I think that's part of the reason why I'm feeling this urge to finish everything, because all of my needles and everything is being used at the moment, and so I'm having this like anxiety to. I don't want to use the word anxiety because it's not anxiety. I have this deep-seated urge to finish everything. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe COVID is the cause of all this right now. But I have this anxiety. Again, it's not anxiety. I have this urge to finish everything. So while I have that urge, I'm going to finish what I can. Because then I have I have a sweater I want to start. I want to continue working on my Heaven and Earth design. And I think I have some angst about working on that whenever I have these things that are kind of sitting in limbo. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and check back in on my next episode and see where we get to. But anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful start to 2021. I'm having as best of a start as I can be, and I'm really enjoying all of this start and stitching and everything like that. And don't go anywhere because I have some things that came in the mail that I got to show you. So let me just clean up here because I have a little bit of a mess. But I am super excited for what I've gotten done so far already, and very excited for what I have projected to be working on and finishing in the next week or so. So it's going to be It's going to be an exciting year for me, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping you all are having just as much fun and excitement as I am. So I hope, like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, that you're liking. And if you haven't subscribed to already, and you do like what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button and help out the channel, as well as make sure you hit the bell so that you get notification whenever I do post a video, so that you get first dibs on seeing the content that I'm putting out, because everyone wants to see me first. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Again, my piles are everywhere, and it's kind of like making me go, ah! Okay. So, yesterday, over last week, in the middle of the week, I got this urge to just order some yarn. And I don't know if it was, again, COVID, or if I was wanting to order some yarn or what, because, we all need more yarn. But I found this Etsy store that I saw some really cool yarn. And so I had to order it. So I ordered 2 skeins. It's sock yarn. However, it's 100% superwash merino. It does not have any nylon. So all of you sock knitters out there, have any of you ever knit socks without the nylon in it? And if so, how did they hold up? Please put your information in the comments below. I would really like to know, did your socks, if you use like 100% superwash merino without nylon, did they hold up? Is it worth using the yarn for the socks, or is it better to just use the yarn for something else that's not going to get as much wear and tear on it? I would love to make these into socks, but I don't want to use the sock yarn. I don't want to use the yarn if it's going to wear out quickly. But it's sold as sock yarn. So I'm torn by that. And I've only ever made socks with nylon built into the fiber. So I bought, this is from Black Sheep Dye Works. And you can find her on, I believe it's a her, but you can find the Black Sheep Dye Works. I'm just going to say you can find the store on Etsy, because I don't know if it's a her or if it's a conglomerate or whatever it is. But it's Black Sheep Dye Works. And I bought 2 100, I believe it's, this is 108 grams. It's approximately 469 yards. Of 4-ply superwash merino wool. It's 100% superwash merino wool. And this is honey mustard. Wow, my colors are great tonight. So that is honey mustard. Of course, I had to buy honey mustard. And then this is called agate. Yeah, agate. And this is what drew me to their website. So I thought that was, I really like that sock yarn. And so this is what I want to knit into a pair of socks, but I don't know if it's worth knitting into socks or not if it doesn't have the nylon. So if you know, please put it in the comments below. And if you're interested, definitely check out the comments to see what people have put in the comments, because I'm sure that I'm not the only one that's interested. They have other colors that I would love to buy for socks. So I would really like to know if this is worth knitting into socks. If not, I can find something else to knit this into with, but it would be great to knit this into a pair of socks. All right, then I've been waiting for this since Thanksgiving. I ordered these at Thanksgiving, and these are my other kits that I bought that were on back order. So, all right, these are the kits that were on back order. They were shipped out before Christmas, and then like the day after they were shipped out, they became limbo-fied. And then they sat in limbo until yesterday, and then all of a sudden they just appeared at my door today. So these are all three of these kits are Riolis kits. This is a brand new Riolis kit that was just released this year, and this is called Tropical Birds. It is a bell pull, and it uses the wool acrylic threads, and it's called Tropical Birds. Love that. Don't know when I'll stitch it, but I had to have it. Then this is the one that made me have to go through the entire Riolis catalog and buy them. And this is going to be one that I'm going to stitch soon, maybe not 2021, but definitely 2022. And we'll go into my office animal wall. And this is Meerkats. I love Meerkats. Who doesn't love a meerkat? And of course, all the golds and the grasses in the background and everything, right up my alley. Love that. Meerkats. And then this is the one that if you watched my plans video, which was like all over the place, and I strongly suggest you don't watch it unless you really just want to see a craptastic video, and then I highly suggest you go watch my plans video, and then you can laugh the whole way through, because I'm pretty sure I had COVID at the time, and I was just like, I had brain fog and I was all over the place. But this is definitely going to be one that I stitched this year, and it very well could be a start sometime in January if I get all of my finish-itis out of the way. But this is called Kuskovo Manor, and this I noticed uses the wool acrylic and a stranded cotton, which I'm interested in because I've never had a Riolis kit that uses stranded cotton. I'm talking too much, but here it is. And I mean, look at this. We all know why I love this. Let's recite the reasons why I love this. Architecture, yellow, plants. Yeah, had to have this. I think this is beautiful, and I definitely want to stitch this. This is probably going to hang in my possibly living room, maybe bedroom. I don't know, somewhere in my home. But I definitely want to stitch this up soon. So this one will be stitched sooner rather than later. So there we go. That is everything that I got in the mail. With that, this has been a long enough video. I hope you all are having a wonderful start to 2021. I hope you stick around and have a great stitching, crafting year along with me. If you like what you see, don't forget to go check out my Buy Me a Coffee if you are able to and interested. If not, that's all right. But until I see you all next time, happy stitching, happy crafting. And as always, don't forget to always be creative.